Good morning to the both of you, Clint and Greg. First of all, I saw this at the Toronto International Film Festival and was completely blown away. And Greg, I want to start with you because to write this, and of course to write it with CLifton in mind, I mean, wow, where did it all stem from?
Well, and actually, Clint and I co-write together,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he actually. Why don't you tell the personal place it came from, and then we can go from there.
Well, my dad was a jockey. Is kind of the original seed of the idea, and I just grew up in that world of horse racing and didn't really feel like there were a lot of movies that felt true to that world, and so that was where we started writing from.
Yeah, and then CLifton, we had worked with on our first film, Trans-Pecos, and it just sort of formed this relationship. And as we, in the years between films, as that relationship and friendship grew even deeper, we started to be aware of the immense wealth of range of emotions that he has within him as a human being. And we felt this potential of what if this movie could completely be on his shoulders, what an audience could experience.
It's truly amazing. And I mean, every time I see that guy in anything he does, he's just, he goes wholeheartedly into his roles. But this one, I mean, before we even talk about him, I want to know what kind of immersive research you guys had to do to really take us behind the scenes of this world. Because as you say, it isn't something we take for granted. We see these guys riding on the horses and we know that, there might be a rough go of it, but nothing what I expected when I saw the film. Clint, you want to start?
Yeah, a lot of it did come from just things I'd seen and knew about my dad's life and seen from his friends. And then the other part of it that then we built on top of that is Greg and I both come from documentary filmmaking backgrounds.
Right.
And so we did a lot of research of just going to tracks and hanging out with jockeys and really learning as much as we could so that it felt like a documentary as much as possible. And then the third aspect is just our cinematographer, Adolfo, who, in addition to getting really beautiful images, is so immersive in the way that he can lens a scene. And so that really adds to that.
Yeah. And when you start working with CLifton on this, I mean, Greg, what kind of surprised you? You guys hand him this beautiful script, you write it with him in mind, and then he just runs with it. Like, was there anything that you thought, I can't even believe he did this?
Yeah, CLifton, no matter what character he takes on, disappears into a world. And, this particular setting of Turf Paradise with this many first-time actors, I think the thing that surprised me the most was not would we believe him to be a jockey, because he has that chameleon-like quality, and he prepares so intensely that he can slip into behind any world and belong there. But what surprised me most was just how generous he was with the first-time actors, how much he would not overpower them, but really share and give just as much, listen sometimes rather than speak. It enabled all of these other jockeys, these real jockeys, to bear themselves to us. I think he is a lot of the credit in terms of how he worked with them and Clint.
Yeah, and Clint, you were saying too that a son of a jockey, I don't know the quote exactly, but doesn't want their son to be a jockey. Was there ever a point where your dad said, don't do this, or did he try to dissuade you? Was it anything that you thought that you might want to be a jockey?
Yeah, I grew up on horses and I love them immensely. And when I was 17, I tried to become a jockey. I had a guy who was going to take me out to Louisiana and give me a job. And my dad said no. He said, go to college and finish college, and then you can become a jockey. Knowing that by the time I did all of that, I wouldn't do it. It would be kind of too late. So.
Right. And one of the most beautiful scenes in this is when it's kind of like an AA meeting, but it's all the jockeys sitting around and talking about what they've gone through, their injuries, their, everything. And they're real life jockeys. And it was so touching. I mean, how hard was it to get these guys involved with the film, or was it something where they just went like, I'm in?
It was not hard to get them involved in the beginning, because when we go into these worlds where no one's really made a movie before, then everyone in that world wants to be a part of a movie and thinks it's fun and exciting. The hard part was getting them to open up a little bit. And what they're doing there is just what you would hear in any jock's room or anything like that. If you went to a racetrack around the country, they spend a lot of time just kind of chatting and telling stories. But then that scene, we just set up that circle, and Adolfo was tracking around with a camera, and I would just throw out questions. And once they got going, it was just 2.5 hours of them talking. Once they did open up, it was like a well that just kept coming.
There's a documentary there.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much that was recorded. I mean, we burned so much hard drive space because we wanted to keep letting these sort of profound experiences and stories come out.
Yeah. I would find that extremely fascinating. I love the movie that you gave us here, but that's something you guys should think about, I think.
We'll get on it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. And I'll look for it at TIFF next year. Thank you. Quickly, I want to say, of course, our wonderful Canadian gal Molly Parker, who can do no wrong in any role that she plays. She's fabulous.
Amazing.
But the chemistry between her and Clifton, and you think that there's like a backstory there or whatever. I mean, just thinking to put her with him together, Clint, just wow, that genius.
She's incredible. She can do no wrong. And every time you see her in a role, you think it's going to go one way, and she just takes it a different way. And that feeling of kinship between them was totally what she and Clifton found. Greg and I in the script gave them a little backstory, but she just took it to new heights and was like a breath of fresh air when she came onto the film. And then she didn't shoot with us the whole time. And then when she left, we were all kind of sad of like, oh no, we lost Molly.
And she spent so much time working with a real trainer on the backside, one of the only female trainers on the track, that she could run the barn by the time we shot with her. And so many of those experiences ended up informing the monologue she gives by the fireside. Is actually in her own words and was built upon her own feelings being on the backside.
Wow, amazing. Well, that doesn't surprise me. She's brilliant. She's amazing. We're so proud of her. But congratulations to the both of you on this fantastic movie. Wow, it's so great. It was one of the movies that I saw early at TIFF, and I could not stop talking about it and telling people already then about it. So best of luck to the two of you with this film. And maybe next year we'll see you in Toronto in real life. Let's aim for that.
I hope so. Yes. It's a beautiful city, beautiful festival. Thank you.
Well, thank you for bringing the film there, and best of luck with it. Happy holidays to you both, and thank you for your time.
Likewise.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
JPI, let's cut.